Hey Samantha, glad you could join us. I'm situating something on my side over here really quick. It's gonna give me just one tiny second. It's on Amazon, Peggy Sue. When you disrespect an empath, you're okay. Here we go. Hey Indigo, thanks for the sub, Indigo. I appreciate you. Okay, there you go.
Hey, Indigo, thanks for the sub, Indigo.
Okay,
I appreciate you.
now let me just get this over here. I'm gonna. Okay, we're good. That's all right. Let's start. I got everything situated now. All right, so glad to have you all back here. What's going on? Tamara, Tamara, what are you doing على وقت اللايف? What are you doing وقت اللايف? Hey Sunshine, what's up, Elizabeth? All right, okay. Squabble in my backyard last night. Oh, that must have been crazy. What's up, Sunshine? How you doing? Hey, Vicky. It was a deer. Well, it's good to have you with us, Sunshine. 3 deers and 1 owl? Jesus. I had my cat sit in that hole, dirty dishes. I have children with narcissists. Hard to believe. Okay. I have a question. When I ask myself about the narcissist, does that mean I'm not the narcissist? Okay, it doesn't work that way. Like, I know people say that because that's an indicator that you're self-reflecting, but it's really not that simple. It's a lot more nuanced than that. It's, are you will do you take accountability? Like, if a person asks themselves if they're a narcissist, doesn't automatically remove the possibility of narcissism, right? But it's really about what you do when you ask yourself that question. How much are you willing to hold yourself accountable? Like, do you really self-reflect in the sense that you can hold yourself accountable to the things that you're self-reflecting on? Like, do you rectify your? Do you see that how that? Do you understand that your behavior has actions and consequences? And do you understand that those impact or the impact of those behaviors may not necessarily be healthy? And when you realize that you're making mistakes with other people, you can rectify them. What's up, Theodore? Hey, Carol. Thank you, October. Hmm. If you're holding yourself accountable to the thing that you're self-reflecting on, that's when you understand that it may not be narcissism, because narcissists don't take accountability. Now, I understand though the concept of if you ask, you most likely aren't, but that's not like a ticket. Like I know how people pass that statement off, but it's really about accountability and self-reflection. Can you explain the levels of narcissism? If you ask me personally, I believe the levels of narcissism is dependent on how comfortable they are with taking it with being manipulative or pushing your boundaries. I feel the levels of narcissism is more depending on the circumstances of how much they actually push against you. For example, a narcissist in their first phase, a narcissist in their first phase, they're not going to be a narcissist in their first phase. They're not going to be pushy or they're going to be trying to love bomb and get your attention and whatnot. Hold on one second. Zach, I'm not taking boxes until the first 30 minutes or if I saw the traffic was good. I keep the boxes open, but if you want to stay in the queue, you're free to do that. But I'm not going to open the boxes until the first 30 minutes of the live. But still, that's even depending on how the live's coming, the traffic. But if you're still there, I'll let you. You'll be the first one to come up. If not, you can ask the questions here in the chat. What's the meaning of narcissism in love? Loving oneself. There's a difference between loving yourself and then being self-absorbed within loving yourself. Don't conflate self-love with you're asking about narcissism. So we're talking about high tendencies and ego. So try your best to keep up with the questions that you're lining up. If you're talking about narcissism, you're talking about high inflated ego. You're talking about a person self-absorbed. Self-love in a self-absorbed mindset can be extremely dangerous because it puts everything else below you. Self-love should never come at the expense of overstepping people's boundaries. It's no longer self-love at that point. It's narcissism. Self-love should never justify overstepping the boundaries of another person. Being controlling and manipulative, Cherry. Not really, Amber. Not in that sense. It's just that the dynamics of the two kind of find ways in which they usually connect. For example, empaths are always trying to create safe environments, and narcissists are always trying to take advantage of them. And because narcissists are constantly looking for supply, and empaths are constantly creating safe environments, the nature of the dynamics between the two draw them together, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they always end up in relationships together. They do get drained out. Amber. Discernment, Crawfish Queen. Boundaries and discernment. Guys, wait, I want to open the. Let me open the door really quick. I want to get some fresh air. I have no contact with my dark brother. Our only living parent has Parkinson's and wants us. I mean, the choice is always yours, Shansky. You're never obligated to do anything beyond your own point of comfort. And just because they want, like, your mental health is your priority. The choice is yours to make, of course, but you really got to do the work on thinking how you want to approach this. Carol, thank you. What are the top three characteristics of a narcissist? Being self absorbed, controlling, and having no empathy. These are the three main characteristics of narcissism. Put them back in the chat, Dark Horse. If I didn't see it, I didn't see it. What about the flying monkeys? When people think about flying monkeys, a lot of people get confused with how to approach the flying monkey because usually they're mutuals. But the reality between or behind the flying monkey is understanding that they're no different than the actual narcissist. And the way you handle a flying monkey is the same way you handle a narcissist. If you have to set boundaries with your narcissistic partner, you have to do the same thing with the flying monkeys too. What's the question? Dark Horse. I mean, if they broke up, they were moving on to their ex, at least you have clarity and closure. At least you have some clarity and closure. Well, given that they're an ex, probably they were still in contact with the ex. The thing is, when it comes to exes and whatnot, right? And I would say that the relationship probably was never healthy to begin with. Probably didn't start on a good. They probably never really got. They never really had the proper finish, and the relationship was always lingering. And it's just a matter of time before it actually came down on you. So for her to move on in 3 weeks is an indicator that she was already in contact with that person, and it was just a matter of time into falling into line with. So I would also argue them leaving you was a huge indicator that they were already working things out on the other side. So, okay, them. Who's them? Narcissist. It said I wanted them to apologize. Who's them? You have a headache, Daniel. I'm using it to. But it does help a little bit too. Put your question in the chat, Rose. What did you want them to apologize for? What did you want her to apologize for? Dark Horse. Lying about what? My ex tried toxic and is stalking my social heart after 8 months while with a new partner. You gotta be the one to block Waylon. You gotta be the one to block. Otherwise, if you're not the one to close the door, they'll keep coming through it. Sometimes narcissists sees open doors as an invitation to continue to stalk. Well, he's not. Look, you're not a child, and neither is she. She can handle the consequences of her own actions, Rose. She can handle the consequences of her own actions. Let me close the door because there's too much wind now. She's not. And she's already angry at you. So I don't get what your concern is. She's already giving you a hard time, and she's already angry. So why are you worried about her getting angry when she's already angry? I have to go back to his normal behavior. When I leave him, he cries and begs. for me to come back and promises change, but it only takes a week because it's transactional. It's not real, Sam. Look, the thing is, change that comes as a result of you standing up for yourself isn't necessarily actual change. Sometimes a person will tell you what you want to hear in order to get what they need from you. It's on you to understand the truth of what's really being presented to you. Because look, whenever a person wants to change, you're going to have to look for two things. Whenever a person says, I want to change, you have to hold this concept. Don't tell me, show me. Don't tell me, show me. Action and consistency. Now, you say I go back after next week and he's back to normal. So what you're going to do is you're not going to go back next week. You're going to give him an actual month to implement the changes that he's suggesting to you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I want to do that. Okay, cool. You do that, right? And we'll meet after a month and we'll see how that's going, right? After a week, after a month, we'll go visit, see how everything's going, and it's just a date. After that month, you'll say, hey, okay, you're going to therapy. You see the changes. Okay, we'll meet again next month. Action and consistency. Give yourself a distance of 3 months to monitor and vet their behavior to see if they're really implementing real change. And if they're cooperative and if they're holding themselves accountable to, or at least understand the extent of the damage they've done to you, they would be responsible enough to do what it takes to make that change happen. You feel me? Hey, Cherry. That's true, Cheryl. I have a codependent sibling, can't set a boundary, and I need the distance, but she manipulates me. I think it's narc behavior, but hard to say. Whether it's narc behavior or not, if it's toxic and it makes you feel uncomfortable, then that's all there is to it. There is really nothing beyond that point. If it's toxic and it makes you feel uncomfortable, that's all there is to it. You don't need to label it. You don't need to categorize it. Just draw the boundaries wherever it's needed. Boundaries is for everyone, not just for anyone who pushes or persistent in pushing your boundaries. Appreciate you, Sals. Sure, thanks to follow. When they try it and come back, what about it? No, thank you, Heart Me. I appreciate you. All right. Well, yeah, thanks to follow. You're not out of options. You just don't want to do the right thing that you know you have to do. You're not out of options. You know what you have to. You just don't want to do it, or you don't have the heart to do it, and that's understandable. But if you don't have the heart to set your own boundaries, then there's really not much I can do or say to change that for you. Recognition is half the solution, but it's also the base of any solution. Recognition is half the solution, but recognition is also the basis of a solution. So if you're not recognizing it, if you don't understand what the solution is, then you're bound to make the same mistake over and over until you do see it. I can only guide you, I can only give you information. I can't do it for you. It's gonna be on you. And I hate to be so blunt about it, but I'm real as it gets when it comes to these things. There's nothing wrong with you sitting down and prioritizing your mental or emotional health. You're a full grown adult and so is she. There's nothing wrong with setting boundaries. Thank you, Chloe. That was Wendy. It was good, Mel. It was fun. We really enjoyed it. Do empaths require extreme attention from my partner? No. They're usually overcompensating. I appreciate user 17. Thank you for sharing them. This app is suppressing me hard. This is something that I'm dealing with. So thank you for sharing the content. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. Do narcs have explosive anger and get mad at the smallest things? Yes. But the explosive anger is not a short temper as much as it is a calculated move. One, I'm on other platforms, and other platforms I'm doing just fine. Suppressing, like, we get clogged on views and all that. We get capped. Like, look at this. It really takes out the spirit. Do narcs have explosive anger and get mad at smallest things? It's not a short temper as much as it is a calculated move to agitate, to scare, and to instill fear in you as to not let you feel encouraged to set a boundary or stand up for yourself. So narcissists have this approach where if they can scare you, if they can intimidate you, then you'd think twice before you decide trying to set a boundary. So these rage and outbursts are ways of trying to deflect from responsibility. The same way how a child will try to, like, whenever you tell them it's bedtime, right? And they'll try to throw a tantrum, they'll try to cry, and they'll try to force their way out. A narcissist follows the same structure first. They'll try to throw a tantrum at you. They'll try to make you angry and scary so they can make you feel afraid to speak up. And more times than not, it actually works. Because, like, I think this is, and of course, this is the base of a malignant narcissist. But most narcissists usually do this because it's the easiest way to kind of, maintain control by inducing fear. And if you're afraid to ask them, then you won't really confront them and they would never have to worry about anything. And knowing that they have this kind of power would always put you on, you know. Yes, even the smallest would my set my husband off. I walk on eggshells. This is the reason. That's the concept of why we walk on eggshells. I came unglued. Grace. Live with more comfort. Patient the worst that offers. 100%. Well, the thing is, if it's successful once, it goes downhill from there. If it works one time, it only goes downhill from there. So that means they'll feel emboldened to continue to use this strategy as it worked the first time. So if you said, I guess that's a good thing, Sana. Well, a narcissist woman from her boyfriend from his family. Will a narcissist woman pull her boyfriend from his family? Yes. But then again, the boyfriend also pulled himself out of the family, so it's not entirely like we're not going to pretend it's the narcissist woman's problem as much as it is the boyfriend who pulled himself out. Like the boyfriend, you can't exclude the boyfriend from responsibility, and the boyfriend has all the role. They left the family for the narcissist woman. When you say narcissist woman, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean exactly? You do leave without closure, silently. Sometimes you have to. What's up, Matt? How you doing? Not necessarily, Wendy. I think EMDR is situational, depending on the circumstances, the context, or the experience the person had. Not all traumas are the same. EMDR is great for getting back, like, or at least trying to, ground yourself. But there are like depend. It's more depending on the circumstance. It's not the optimal approach. It's a good approach, but it's not the optimal approach. It does. I'm not a psychic once. Why do they downgrade with a new supply? Well, I mean, what happens with the new supply is not really any concern of us. Like it doesn't the new supply we're like to compare ourselves or to be focused on the new supply has no relevance to us moving forward. The fact that you're focused on the quality of the new supply is an indicator that you're not properly healing, or at least you're not in the right direction with your healing. Because you're still concerned or you're still measuring yourself against him and his decisions as if his new supply was going to change the reality of your future path forward. None of them are relevant. The new supply is not relevant. He's not relevant. And if you're thinking this way, you have your head in the wrong spot. Like the question is, why is it a downgrade is not the right question you should be asking because you shouldn't be even looking in that direction to begin with. And then my ex broke up with me. Keeps coming back when he is in between females. The person will treat you the way you allow them to. It's not that you're karmic, no. It's that person will treat you the way you allow them to. If they could simply walk in and out of your life whenever they see fit or whenever it's necessary, then they'll continue to do that. Yes, one I do. Simply amazing. This is what we call a situationship. This is not a relationship. It is a situationship where you are only there for their convenience. You are not an actual relationship. You are not a real person in their life. You're just a matter of convenience. And of course, that's never a good place to be, and we should never put ourselves in a situation like that. If we realize a person is not giving us their full commitment or dedication, then we got to be the one to close the door on that. Like if I see a person's out and about who comes to me whenever they need they're on downtime, I won't wait for that. I'll close the door. Otherwise, I'm allowing them to let me be that role. Sorry to hear that. Simply amazing. Sorry to hear that, Anna. Because he was only after the spark, not you as a person. Sorry to hear that, Anna. That's the problem when relationships are built on intimacy or love bombing. Is that the moment, especially when it comes to intimacy, you see, the thing with intimacy and relationships is that relationships that are built on like guys, intimacy gets old. You find different ways and styles and whatever. When you're connected with a person that you genuinely love and value, it doesn't matter how old it gets. It's always going to have its value. But if you're in the relationship only for intimacy, at some point it's going to get old and boring. And if that was the whole point of the relationship, then you probably would find yourself no longer interested in it. If that was the only reason why you get engaged in the relationship. And sometimes that is the sole purpose of a relationship at times. I'm not sure that's what you wanted to hear, Hanake, but recognition is half the switch, not your fault. Is it okay to inform my ex about my huge progress? No. Why, Empress? Empress, why? I'm glad to hear that, Hana. Do you believe a narcissist can really change after years of giving him chances? Absolutely not, Lucci. I don't believe, not even with decades. Exactly, Mel. The glow up's gotta be for you, not for them. Fortunately, Danis. I'm feeling good, Jules. No, Donnie. If a narcissist has blackmail against you, they'll keep using that blackmail until eternity. If a narcissist has something against you, they're going to use it and they're going to milk it and they're going to get as much as they possibly can out of it. I appreciate you, Jules. Rose, you're not being pushy. Just put the question back in the chat. And Rose, I already told you what I felt and how I. No, you don't want to live in your car. Like Rose, like look. First of all, he's no god. You can leave whenever you want. He doesn't. You can say, "Oh, mom, I'll work. I'll stay," and then you can work on your exit plan while you're staying. You don't. Okay, say today, yeah, fine. You know what? Look, because you have to situate yourself. If you think, because look at the way you're creating conditions that are impossible for yourself. Should I go live in my car and leave, or should I listen to her ultimatum? Okay, put up with whatever bullshit she has to put to say. Start working on financing yourself. Start working on getting yourself a career or something. So once you get a career, you make an income. Have a goodbye. That's it. Be in control of your decisions. Don't let her run the decisions for you. Your problem is you're conditioning yourself to her choices as if you don't have choices yourself. That's your problem. Because I think so, Paul. Yes, Lissy. What you don't owe them nothing. You don't need to wish them good. You don't need to wish them bad. You don't need to give them forgiveness. You don't need to. You can forgive them if you want. You don't owe them nothing beyond the point of separation. Beyond the point you're focused on yourself, the same way they were focused on themselves. You don't owe them nothing. It's up to you, of course, if you want to give them this or that. But if you think like, oh, I'm gonna write a letter and tell them I forgive you, they didn't hear your pleas for help or support or for any kind of mercy or remorse. Why do you think they're gonna read your goodbye letter? And I'm only telling you this so you can let go of so you can focus on what really matters for your healing journey. They're not relevant beyond the point of separation. And I understand for the sake of closure you want that. And if that's what you need for your closure, go ahead. But the closure you have is all the closure you need. Breaking free is the only way it was going to play out. Sydney, reacting to abuse does not make you an abuser. Okay, let me give you a better example, a better analogy to demonstrate your question, Sydney. If I pushed you, Sydney, and I was pushing you and pushing you and pushing you, okay, and I pushed you to the edge of a cliff, and now, if I push you any further, you're gonna fall down off the cliff, okay? And the whole time you're blocking and you're trying to protect and you're trying to keep peace between us and you're trying to compromise, you're trying your best to de-escalate, but I just kept pushing. Eventually, when you saw that your back was against the cliff, you decided to push back. And guess what? I fell on my behind and I got hurt and I started crying. Does that make you a violent person? Does that make you a violent person? How? How does that make you a violent person, Sydney? I'm going to push you off the cliff. You're going to fall to your demise. You will no longer exist. You are trying, okay, let me reiterate. You are trying to de escalate, which means you try to set boundaries. You are trying to create peace, but they were persistent. You tried everything to deflect until your back was against a cliff. And before you could fall to your doom, you pushed back. Does that make you a violent person? Queen Rockfire, thanks for following. Okay. Well, it's not your fault. Well, that's the thing. How can one avoid this? It's not your fault for it. You're not responsible for their actions or choices. And if they were persistent in pushing your boundaries and being toxic and abusive, and you have to develop the coping mechanisms or defense mechanisms to protect yourself, you're just responding to their situation. You ask what's the difference between a triggered empath and a narcissist. The question in itself is wrong because you're assuming that the triggered empath in this case or the triggered person was on par or in the same point for comparison with a narcissist. One is defending, the other's react. One is instigating, the other's reacting. It's nice to meet you too, Queen Rock Lover. And the one who's reacting is only trying to defend. And in this case, reacting to abuse does not make an abuser. If the circumstances didn't push to the situation, you probably would have never responded in such a way. And if the person was healthy enough, you probably would have been able to de-escalate it at some point. And this is what we really need to focus, or where we need to understand the difference between narcissism and, or at least in narcissistic relationships, we need to understand the victim of a narcissist may not, like from the outside, may not seem like rainbows and sunshine. Because in reality, they're coping and learning different kind of ways to protect themselves against a person who's persistent in trying to demolish them. And no matter what you do, no matter how much you compromise, how much you sacrifice, no matter how much you deflect or try to help, and nothing's gonna stop them until you break free, until you leave, or if you're trapped, then what other options do you have if not defending yourself? It's not genetic. 100%, Sydney. I am Zahra. You can ask a question. I'd be more than happy to help. Just ask a question. I'm Zahra. Why does wife always try to talk over you? If you don't give her a chance to talk. It's either you don't give her a chance. When people try to talk over, a lot of times it comes as a result of frustration for not being heard, and two, not being understood. So if you allow them the time to speak, and then you give yourself, like, if you organize the conversation in a way where both can discuss, then you'll get to resolution. But if you assume that if her perspective is gaslighting and I don't want to hear what she has to say, she's going to do the same thing to you, and then it pisses you off, and then it becomes a problem. Take the time to organize conversation between the two of you, and hear her perspective out. Otherwise, she wouldn't have to try to get frustrated. Usually, people who ever talk come to this point. No, I don't. Beyonce, I don't at all. He's always choosing his family over me. Zahra, where are you in this world? Are you in the Middle East? It's the biggest sign of a covert narcissist. That's a hard one, Kambaro. But I'll tell you, covert narcissism is one of the hardest to deal with. And because a lot of it's passive aggressive, it's all calculating. It's passive aggressive and it's all calculated. The problem with covert narcissism, the word covert means it's sneaky, which means from your whole interaction with them, It's going to look like they're coming with good intent, but in reality, you're going to always find yourself walking on eggshells. You're going to find yourself always disrespected, undervalued, or not appreciated, while at the same time without any real direct correlation to any of this. And this is the thing with covert narcissism, right? They work with this, like they attack and stab with a smile on their face. They hug you with one arm and stab you with the other in the back. And you don't know what's happening because you see them holding you and embracing you so comfortably. But at the same time, you feel the pain of daggers just striking through your back and you don't know how to feel about it. So, covert narcissism, while it is hard to detect, your feelings of how you feel around that person can tell you a lot. If you feel negative energy, if you feel like that, you can't say what you want to say, or you feel like there are certain things that would trigger them, then you're in an indirect way through their passive aggressive and condescending behavior. They've developed ways to manipulate without getting aggressive or anything. And by the way, like they're not going to manipulate by directly like being controlling or dominant or assertive like that. No, they'll find smarter ways to be passive aggressive. For example, like if you don't do this, well, in that case, I'll be sad the whole day and I won't do any. I would refuse to do that for you. You know, she plans months ahead. Exactly. So you kind of feel it. You know what you're dealing with. They're not listening. They don't listen most of the time. That's a good way to look at it, Sydney Smith. If the healing focus begins with you, not them. And thank you very much. Boundaries, Kambaro. Boundaries. Understand that it's not your fault. You know what I mean, Amba? Kelly, are you still there? Kelly Slater? Kelly Slater, are you still there? If you are, confirm in the chat. It is a concern, Kambaro. I never understood why people took narcissistic people so seriously. They are comedic. Six mix in the attempt to put yourself above everyone else in virtue signal. You're really showing that you have no idea what it means to be in a narcissistic relationship. No one walks into a narcissistic relationship knowing what they're getting into, and when you get stuck in one, it's really a really painful and difficult experience to put up with. So be more mindful. I understand it's not a flex. It's not the flex you think it is. Sorry to hear that, Chokta. See how you doing? Sometimes isolation could be the answer, Sydney, believe it or not. Sometimes when the thing is, if you've grown up or if you've been with a narcissist, I'm doing all right, Lexi. If you've then you've most likely created a network of people that are most likely within the bounds of the narcissist themselves. So the network of people that you surround yourself with may not necessarily be healthy people for you, and in this case, you might have to regret. Um, Everyone I meet has opinions that's going on 2 years when I help. It feels like a step, 2 steps forward and 5 steps back. I'm hearing now how much because you can't help a person at the expense of your own emotional or mental health. You can. This is where you have to have discernment, Kelly. The art of discernment is important. Help within your own capabilities. You can support a person to heal, but you cannot do the healing for them. This is what you have to learn. Otherwise, you will get drained out in the process of doing so. So allow your empathy to be a gift of support to help a person, but don't let it come at the expense of coming at when you're harming yourself in the process of doing so. You got to know where to draw the line, when to understand when you can empathize with the situation effectively, and when you have to take a step back and let things play out before you can be really more. You feel me, Kelly? I thought I was so alone, but there are so many people in this situation. There are, Queen Rock. There are plenty of people in this situation. My Anarchex painted a pretty picture of me, left me emotionally dysregulated, truly nothing after. Sorry to hear that. Surrounding yourself with the right people, Sydney, can be really productive. That's if you have the right people in your circle. Glad to hear that, Mickey Moe there. Why are there so many narcs? It's not that there are so many narcs, we're just becoming more cognizant of the label or the concept. Or because of the way social media work and how algorithms push knowledge and information in such rapid speed and to further extents, more people are having access to this kind of information. And whether you have this information or not, people are still experiencing those toxic traits or relationships. So it's not that narcissism is everywhere. It's just we've gained more cognition, we've gained more understanding or tools to understand it. A covert narcissist is a narcissist that uses sneaky tactics in order to manipulate. Their main focus is passive aggressive behavior rather than being straight up controlling and manipulative. This is where they master an emotional manipulation and different tactics of psychological abuse in order to do control rather than fear and intimidation or being self absorbed and neglectful. Am I now the narcissist because I've started reacting to no reacting to abuse does not make an abuser. This is the main concept that we need to understand to keep our head in the game. Reacting to abuse doesn't make you the abuser. Intertell Moon City. What's up, Tiger? Hey, nothing wrong with that, Kelly. There's nothing wrong with taking a step back and working on yourself. It was hard, but was the best decision I made for myself. Glad to hear that, Mickey. He said I'm crazy now. He wants to move out. And I got really bad news before the live started. And it's been eating me up ever since I got on live. What's that? I don't know if I can share. It's no, it's TikTok related. I appreciate you, Jennifer. Why do they see their kids as tool? Because they can be really successful. No, no, it's not that. I'll show you guys in a bit. When things calm down a little bit, I'll show you guys. That's true, Sydney. That's what we call a dark empath. Cat, whether I know or not, or I see your question, I'm not going to answer it. Anytime I see a person try to manipulate a response out of me, I lose complete interest. The last thing I need is a person trying to manipulate me in my own life that talks about helping people understand manipulation. What's up, or how you doing? It's so counterproductive and ironic, honestly. Yeah, I'm sure you can ask a narcissist. Well, at least you got your answer. Reflecting on how aggressive and passive aggressive your behavior is, I think you got the answer you're looking for. I think your behavior speaks volumes about your answer. So you don't need to ask me. Just read your comments. I don't even know you. Look how aggressive you are. I'm about to throw it out of here. Yeah, throw it out of here. My ex put his hand on the. They have met boundaries and discernment. All right, Kate. Thanks for asking. All right. Hey, astrologer. I don't know how to communicate this to you guys. Okay, wait. Let me filter out the chat. Let me filter the chat really quick, and then I'll tell you after we filter the chat. Hey, how you doing? You all right? Yeah, what's going on? All right. My protein, the protein snap. Hey, what's up? You want to do battle? Yeah, we're battling. All right. All right, let's go, y'all. Double tap and share chat. Double tap and share, y'all. We take the 2 beats. Double tap and share. We reset it. Come on, one shot. Double tap, y'all. Double tap. Share. Let's see this guy's one.
Where has my girl been?
Thank you, Jules.
Oh. Yes, you broke me, go. Come on, chat. Double tap and share. Let's go.
Thank you, Annette. Thank you, Trailblazer.
Yeah, they're already catching up. We need to catch up. We need to catch up, y'all. They're already catching up, guys. What's up? Can we catch up, chat? Catch up. Come on, chat. Catch up.
All right, guys, we got this.
Come on, y'all. Can we catch up, chat? Let's catch up, guys. Come on. Let's try to unlock the doubles. One double taps, we got one double, guys. Come on. Hey, Brian.
Yes, we'll filter the chat. Once we filter the chat, we'll talk about it.
Damn, so. Yes, Milky, Moni. I'm saying hi to you, mommy. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Milky S, let's go. Alright, chat, let's get double chat. Let's get doubles and get that 2 big chat. So,
Let's get those guys.
alright, y'all. What the hell do we pump
Hey,
that for you?
Lisa.
Medicine. Alright, we need to go in, chat.
Pizza so
We need to go in on doubles, y'all. We go in on doubles. Yes, Brokey.
All right, guys, we need to get
points for doubles, y'all.
190 points on doubles.
Can we get 190 points for doubles, chat? Can we get that?
Yes, we have to get 190.
Chat, can we get 190 points,
Thank you,
guys?
Annette.
190 points on doubles, chat. Someone dropped 190 points for doubles, chat. Can we get that? Can we get that, chat? Come on, we have 15 seconds, y'all. Can we get that? If you were to, It isn't enough, y'all. 190 points, guys. No.
All right, guys.
They're gonna smoke me.
Take advantage of those guys. Like, do that smoke on that side.
They're gonna smoke me. What the heck?
You guys, to try to push as much as you can. You guys, get some distance because they'll drop on the last and just snipe it out of us. Guys, push. Thank you, Annette. Gotta get the doubles, chat. Get the doubles. Maxima, thank you. Chloe, thank you very much. Tara, thank you. Thank you, Alice. I appreciate you.
Y'all, they're smoking me, y'all.
Ellie, let's go. Thank you.
They're smoking me. Can we do something? Can we catch up? Can we drop something, chat? Italian something, y'all. We do stuff. It's already gonna be 10 o'clock. Let's check.
Thank you, Lexi.
Oh, yeah. It's already 10 o'clock. We need to go in. Watch out. Share it out.
Thank you. Thank you, Lisa.
Go in. Chat, go in, chat. Go in. Come on, y'all. Cause someone go in.
Except Tagas in.
God, y'all. What is it? Where are they smoking right now?
Let's go, Lexi. Let's go, Lexi.
No, they're smoking. Chat, catch me up, guys. Someone's nice.
Guys, watch out. This don't. It's not nice.
Something.
It's nice, Lexi. Thank you. Even a little push is good. We're done Leah and OS. GG's. Oh, I felt like they were gonna snipe it. Lisa, thank you very much. Lexi and Kelly, Trailblazer, Naomi, thank you. Maxima, Chloe, Claire, Karen, thank you. Jules, thank you. Thank you for taking. Thank you, everybody. Mel, it was nice playing with you. You take care. CG, bye bye. Okay, now that we filtered the chat a little bit, um, I lost my manager on TikTok. I'll show it to you guys later on. I got an email just before I got on here. No, I can't. I can't go into any further details. If anyone under, no. I can't go into any of the details about this. You take what you can from it. I can't explain on this app. I'm talking to a specific few people who. It's not. Don't worry. Like, guys, continue. There's nothing wrong. Just continue normally. Like, everything's okay. Cool. But I just want to let you guys know this is what really kind of shook me. Thank you, Annette. Reacting to abuse, Theodore, does not make you an abuser. But it's more. It's not narcissism. It's more. No, not restrictive. Restrictive. What's wrong with being a narcissist? Nothing's wrong with being a narcissist. But it's the problem with being a narcissist. It usually comes at the expense of the person who's with the narcissist. What am I going to do about it? You're absolutely nothing. Here, get out of here. It's that simple. Because he has a following. People here, if you have a following on TikTok, you think you're God or something. A lot of content creators come with big fat ass egos sometimes. What if partners are narcs? What if both partners? I highly doubt it, Egyptian princess. I don't think two partners could last long enough. I don't think those could. I don't think relationships with narcissists can last that long enough. And nothing wrong with that IOC, as long as it doesn't make you abrasive. I think I'm with a narc, and I know I have narc friends, so I know I have narc traits. Just because, just look, we all have traits and tendencies. It doesn't mean we're narcissists. Your lady, thanks for following, relaxing. You take care, Queen. It was nice meeting you. Pretty much freeze. That's the way you can simplify it. I agree with you, Rebel Nation. Once you know what you're dealing with, I'll open them soon, Jules. You think narcissists deserve to be loved? Yes. I believe everyone deserves to be loved, but if we can't love a person who's hurting us at the same time. We can't have love to a person who's hurting us at the expense of our love to them. At that point, it's drawing boundaries. Leaving a narcissist, listen, leaving a narcissist or setting boundaries with a narcissist or discarding or abandoning or whatever you want to call it never came as a lack of love, you know? And if anything, it's what keeps a person longer in the situation or relationship. I agree to that, Sydney. When the narc is a mom and you're a full grown adult, you treat them like any other narcissist in your life. You're going to have to set boundaries. You're going to have to prioritize your mental and emotional health. And you got to do what you got to do to protect yourself. Setting boundaries with people is not punishing them, it's just teaching them how to treat you. Let me repeat that. Setting boundaries with people is not punishing them, it's just teaching them how to approach you and how to treat you correctly. That's what they do, Cloud Runner. They try to condition you. So if I have to set a boundary for whoever it is, whether it's a sibling, a parent, and we're no longer children, like like an adult, like your parent is a full grown adult, they should know better regardless. And that's just something that we don't want to put a real like that's something we don't want to work with. But they're older, they should know better, right? And even if they don't, it's not on us to teach or educate as much as it is on us to protect ourselves from that. Well, just because the wider community is not you, I don't need to make my decisions based on the wider community. I make my decisions based on me and how I feel. Because the wider community is not the ones who represent my self-worth and value, my mental or emotional health. The wider community is not the one paying my bills either. By being grounded in your reality, Cloud Runner. You gotta rebuild. Guys, you gotta rebuild. Stop being a baby. Just rebuild. The second arc in my life is this. Glad you're finding it productive. Rebel Nation. The narcissists are able to love their children, yes. But narcissism in children is not it's not textbook as much as their behavior is with your partner or their partner. When it comes to children and narcissists, it really depends on who the child is. Sometimes a child may be a golden child, which is an extension of themselves. Sometimes a child may be a valuable asset for manipulation and control, making them a pawn. Sometimes the child may be nothing at all of value to them. Go ahead, Carolee Samano. Ask. This guy mostly mentally and physically abusive, narcissistic relationship. Glad to hear that. That's what I think's the problem. What kind of loop that on? We knew each other for 6 years. Thank you. Team up. Demanding they go to therapy session with me so I don't play victim. I mean, I think therapy is always a good thing between the two of you because at least they're gonna, whether they realize it or not, if they're sitting in the presence of a third party, most narcissists, okay, so here's the thing. Most narcissists believe that they are righteous. Their perception of the situation is correct and you're not. So if you wanted to go to a therapist or couples therapist, it would actually play in your favor because once they see their grandiose behavior, they'll turn around and they'll put the spotlight on them and shift the focus onto them, which could be in your favor. So go ahead. I think that would be a great idea. So encourage them. So yeah, we should probably go to a therapist together. Because the therapist is not going to sit down and say, oh, really? Is that what she's doing? It's not what's going to happen if that's what you think. Narcissists and manipulators are the same thing. A narcissist manipulates. The person who manipulates may not, I mean, will be toxic one or the other. You can choose the you can choose the therapist, you know. Are narcissists evil? Absolutely not. Narcissists are not evil. They are people with a mental health illness, with a personality disorder. It doesn't justify their behavior, but at the same time, it's not necessarily because they're inherently evil. This does not justify their abusive behavior. This doesn't. That's still something that they are accountable to. But is it coming from pure evil? No, it's not. How do I move forward from a person I know is not healthy for me, even though I'm deeply in love with them? NG, you got to be the one to recognize that they don't change a relation. They don't see a need to change. People on social media always push this narrative that they're evil. They're not. It's just a personal disorder. Guys, a lot of okay. So let me give a deeper dive into this. It's not our actions are evil as much as it is neglectful or carelessness. And coming from a person who's loving, right? When you're in a dynamic in which you come from a place of love and compassion and you're deeply invested with that love, dealing with a person who's neglectful and does not give two shits about your love, you start to feel that there's more to it, that you have to be so cold hearted to deal with it. But in reality, they don't care. And you don't see it that way because you fell in love with the idea, the mask, right? There is cruelty, but that's all about breaking boundaries and whatnot. It's not inherently evil. Like they don't go out of their way to hurt you in that kind of sense. They're doing this to feed their ego. And once again, this does not justify it, but this is what look, when we say it's evil, people lose the context of what they're dealing with, and they feel like they're dealing with some kind of spiritual curse or shit like that. It's not. It's really just a personality disorder that is effed up, you know? Oh, they know it's wrong, but it's calculated for their ego. And that's the important thing you have to understand. They are ego driven. The outcome of their behavior is to feed their ego. It's not to punish you as much as it is for their own gain. This is what you have to understand. It's about their supply. That's why they can leave you and get somebody else to replace you at best. It's their way of survival, truth teller, if anything. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't justify the abuse, but that explains it. Or at least it dissects the truth of and the only reason why I try to differentiate the concept of evil from the personality disorder is because when we call it evil, we stigmatize it. This encourages people like the one that we saw yesterday that was saying, "Oh, I want to put them out on the street. I want to punish them." Not all violent narcs are psychopaths. A lot of violent narcissists are malignant narcissists, and if it gets to the point of violence, you're no longer dealing with a narcissist. You're dealing with a psycho or a sociopath. The moment it gets to the point of violence, why they? Because they're insecure. Talk. They don't have empathy. That's a good way. That's a healthy way to approach it. Thank you, Jill. Trailblazer. Focus on the experience, not the person. Move on with it. Let it go. Six Mix. I don't need a co-host. Thank you. Six Mix. I don't need a co-host. Rebel Nation. Thank you. That's true, Sydney. Do you think it's possible to observe the negative emotions of someone else's have an impact? 100%. That's where empathy burnout stems from. If you're not properly managing, regulating your emotions or what you take in, it can definitely reach to a point of empathy burnout. By recognizing that you're in a cycle, recognition is half the solution, Ella. Can I make them feel secure? No. Can I make them feel secure? Okay. So every single victim of narcissistic abuse, every single victim, the main attempts throughout the narcissistic abuse that they go through all came at the expense of the same problems that we all have. Can I make them more secure? Can I make them can I love them to the point where I can change them? Or can I help fix their scars and wounds and make them more secure within themselves? Both concepts is what drags the narcissistic abuse even further because there's nothing that you can do to change the outcomes of the situation that you're in, not that they're looking for it. And no matter what you do, no matter what you give, they'll always expect more. If you give them 2, they want 4. If you give them 4, they want 8. If you give them 8, they want 16, etc. Until you could no longer give. And once you can no longer give any further, you're done. And that's just how it plays out, usually. Thank you, Sandy. Why, when someone is empathic, a narcissist, that is possible, Annan. So if I understand well, it's a trap when we think we can help them and make them secure. Yes. Yes. A taker is a really good way to look at a babyface. Narcissists only take. This is the whole concept of supply. When you hear us say supply, 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 what do you think they do with the supply? All they do is take from the supply, take from the supply, take. If they can't take, then there's no reason to have that transactional relationship. Supply is what you provide as a person to a narcissist. That's a really good way to put it, Rebel Nation. Rebel Nation, that's the analogy I usually use, just so you know, when I want to talk about supply and narcissism and empaths. The narcissists tend to have a lot of kids. Not necessarily choices like that is not necessarily tied to a narcissistic trait, but they try to anchor people in their life. For a person to feel bad, they would need to care for it. If they don't care, how would they feel bad? You can't feel guilty for something you don't care about. That's true, Annan, but you can't make that happen. They do supply off of their kids. Whether they have a lot or not, they do supply off of their kids. Are they covering up for shame and guilt? Is it like a psychopath? The psychopath is a cluster A disorder, not the same thing at all. But yes, they do cover up for their math to cover up their shame and guilt. Hey Chelsea, how you doing? I'm all right. How's the drawings going? The drawings? Oh, nice.
Working on
Well, that's
where I put the cracks in the bricks in and I have to detail all of it.
where are you selling them on your page?
Just doing them.
Oh, cool.
Selling this one and I'm like, it's taking me a long.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was like a good one, especially if you're a faithful person.
What?
If a faithful person or Christian, I think that would be a cool one.
Well, see what turns out. This is the stage that it's supposed to be in right now.
Yeah, oh, nice. Really good job on details.
This is supposed to be kind of in. So definitely not as good, but she's a really good painter. So
I I think he did a great job if you ask me personally.
thank you.
Guys, with that said, let's let's try to win, guys. Thank you, baby.
Toya.
H one thing. Thank you, baby.
Pick up the rounds. Now when you go, speed.
So, so we thank you very much, baby. Thank you. Thank you, sunshine. Lexi Truth, thank you. All right, let's get the best one sense. Let's try to rebuild our streak, and let's try. Yeah, okay, 100%. Jill, thank you very much, Jill. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
David, thank you for the heartbeat. Thank you for the heartbeat. Thank you.
Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Trailblazer. Guys, let's try to get back. Let's try to push and get back in the League A3.
So much. Appreciate it, love.
Regular
Team
team
more
activity.
speed,
Thank
y'all.
you very much, Beach Buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah, we still got 10 seconds. Thank you, Lexi. Sandy. Guys, we need one good push on this. Thank you, Rebel Nation.
really. What happened to your pitch, Toya? I'm intrigued.
Yes, I think.
Toya, what happened?
The narcissism split between.
Well, let us know where you're from.
What are the key differences between narcissistic traits? That's the person on this one. We'll talk about that. So I'll talk after I'm done the battle. Guys, let's try to push. Let's try to gain some ground, guys. We're trying, guys. Technically, the point of these battles is we want to try to get back into League A3. So if we want to get back into League A3, we do have to. We gotta try a little bit harder than this. But I was thinking if we can work as a collective, it'll be so much easier on everybody else than to drop it all the heat on one person.
Second job. Dresser flip twin?
Jesus.
Really?
Nice.
You over here can't really
Dylan, thank you very much. Let's see. We'll move something like Mel.
Jacob,
Thank you, Sandy. Appreciate it.
David Flint. Thank you so much.
Nice playing with you, Chelsea, as always. You take care.
Have a good New Year.
Bye bye.
Bye.
If they're incapable of admitting their wrong ever, what bucket do they fall in? Narcissism. A person who can never self-reflect falls under the category of narcissism, because narcissists are so self-absorbed within their mind that they cannot see a different perspective. That's why they don't accept any other opinion or perspective, because they already came to the conclusion that they are always right. Jasmine, thank you very much. And somebody asked a difference, Cloudtalk asked, what is the difference between narcissistic tendencies versus narcissistic personality disorder? Tendencies and traits of narcissism is not something that's out of the ordinary for the average person. We all have traits and tendencies. Being ambitious, being competitive, even self-love for that matter, is considered healthy forms of narcissism. And it's not a problem until that narcissism allows you to feel that you are superior or capable of overstepping the boundaries of another person. So, for example, if my ego allows me to feel that I'm in a place to be judgmental, to be toxic, or to overstep the boundaries of another person, that's where it becomes a problem. How do you know if you're a narcissist? Self-reflection and accountability. I appreciate you, Wendy. Thank you very much. Most importantly, Tamara's feeling so much better. Like the one thing that's making me feel better is that Tamara's feeling better. Like yeah, she's feeling way better. The whole day me and her are both, struggling on each other. The kids are okay. They never got I never got hit by it.
Hello, TikTok. We are in your device.
Hold on, guys, wait 1 second. I'm trying to fix this screen. Why is it so common to hear empaths end up in relationship with a narcissist? That's just a random video popped up on trying to move I accidentally backed out of my other channel. And it backed out into a random video. I don't know who this. Why is it common to hear empaths end up in relationships? Truth teller, I don't believe they attract each other. Like there's a difference between attracting each other and being drawn to each other. And the difference is, if I'm a narcissist, that means I bring that kind of thing to me specifically. And if I'm an empath, then I am bringing that specifically to me. Well, that's not the case. It's just the dynamics between an empath creating safe environments, all trying to rectify and validate. It creates an environment in which they are drawn to each other. So the fact that empaths are always trying to create environments to fix and validate, narcissists are always trying to supply, and that's where they really get drawn to each other. But it's not that they're attracted. And most empaths, when they realize they're dealing with a narcissist, they break free. So it's not attraction. It's the purpose that keeps them bonded, not a connection. Thank you, Jasmine. And the reason why I keep trying to reiterate this is because people who are highly empathetic, if they're convinced it's an attraction, then they would believe that there is nothing they can do but confront this. But it's a matter of boundaries and discernment more than it is concept of attraction, if you know what I mean. That's true, Sydney. Like if you had boundaries and if you're experienced, if you had boundaries or if you had experience, then it would no longer be true for attraction because at that point you would know where to draw the line. The only person who finds himself drawn to a narcissist is an inexperienced empath. But beyond the point of that experience, it's over then and there. Thank you, Trailblazer. Well, part empaths don't. It's not like empaths stick around because they're always in the concept of trying one to fix the narcissist. Because a narcissist will show them something that can be fixed. They'll show them scars and wounds or a lack of. Yeah, I break down empaths into two categories. I in my book, or at least in my concept or principles of empaths, I break it down into two categories. I'll show them to you. So there's a visual for it, so it can make it easier to see. The inexperienced empath versus the experienced empath. The inexperienced empath begins here, usually due to a lack of awareness towards their extreme empathy. They find themselves giving without having proper boundaries or regulation to how much they can give, which, while empathy is always a good thing, giving too much of it without any proper management and regulation can be a bad thing. It's called Code of the Empath. You can find it on Amazon. It's while they appear so charming and perfect, it's all love bombing at that point. It's all love bombing. Empath not be drained of energy. Who said they weren't, Laurie? Laurie, who said they weren't? An empath that doesn't properly manage to regulate their empathy eventually becomes burnt out. Empathy burnout is one of the most common things that most highly empathetic people struggle with. Yes, I have. In my book, I have at least 69 references from different sources, from psychologists to therapists to massive researchers in the field. And my favorite reference in all of the book is Judith Orloff. Judith Orloff, by the way, I think it's worth recognizing her her footprints on empaths. She's definitely, as far as she's a professor of psychology in UCLA, and she is a prominent advocate for the concept of empaths. And honestly, I feel like a lot of my book, like she's probably one of the most used references. I really do love her works and her concepts. And she's got probably like around 7 or 8 books, 6 books, I believe, on this altogether. 4 major books, but then pieces of research that are really used a lot. I think Dr. Romney's chill. I don't agree with everything she says. How do narcissists respond to setting boundaries? You're not allowed to have boundaries with a narcissist. Hey Pixie, how you doing? Sam Vaknin is a self-aware narcissist. He's no different than Lee Hammock or Fat Wolf or Jacob. And Sam Vaknin has a lot of really weird points too. Yeah, he's as far as that he's you could that so. I have I have most of his claims, most of his topics. I've come across most of them. I haven't read his book per se, but considering that I'm on the social media platform talking about this, okay, so a lot of content that comes out in terms of narcissism actually stems from Sam Beckman, believe it or not. A lot of the content that you see content creators on narcissistic abuse actually come from Sam Beckman. But with that said, so that means if he has a misconception that I don't agree with, then a lot of people will echo that. I even mentioned this in my book, believe it or not. Lee is working closely. I'm friends with both, and Lee and Batwolf are working closely with therapists and um, psychologists to maintain, manage, and regulate. This doesn't mean they're changed. This doesn't mean that they're less narcissistic than the next person, but because they're working closely with a therapist, they're capable of being more cognitive or of their actions and behavior. So they have like a filter. They have like a filter. Let's see. What do I not agree with Dr. Amani? Do you think she's no? I think she's really brilliant. Dr. Amani is really brilliant. The only thing I don't agree with her on is the only thing I don't agree with her on is her concept of dark empaths. I feel like the concept of dark empaths is an unexplored terrain when it comes to psychology. It's definitely an important topic. It's an important topic that requires a lot more depth. And her approach on it didn't come from like, okay, so when you're looking at dark empathy, it's important to understand two things. One, listen, one, a person who embraces dark empathy doesn't do it out of choice. It's a last resort of circumstances. When you're trapped into an emotionally or abusive or psychologically abusive relationship, your options of departure is not always necessarily available or accessible. So you might find yourselves developing coping mechanisms to defend yourself against these circumstances. That's not you being the dark triad, evil, Knievel, super, narcissist, covert. This is the bullshit that Sam Backman pulls up. Empaths are secret. This is all nonsense. Thank you, Jill. Now, those who aren't capable of understanding the aftermaths or implications of CPTSD or the behavior that we may develop, you definitely can, Pixie, or the behaviors that we may develop as a result of being in certain situations like this, then for us to jump into, I don't talk about politics here. So for us to jump to the conclusion that, oh, there must be a narcissist, well, it's just a lack of a better understanding. You have to understand, listen, you have to understand. So any person who takes an approach, oh, dark empaths or narcissist, it completely eliminates the whole victim experience of being trapped. And this is a reality that we can't ignore reality to dabble with terms and labels and concepts. We have to understand that we can't avoid reality. There is nothing wrong with it, Cloud Runner. That's what I'm trying to point out. It's not a right place to be in, by the way. It's hypervigilance. It's CPTSD when you really think about it. And it's the behavior and coping mechanisms we develop in order to protect ourselves against such a state of CPTSD. Thank you, Jill. No, being a victimized, feeling victimized and being a victim is not the same thing. Like, are you victimized? Like, if you develop, it's very common for you to develop hypervigilance after being abused. Let's start with that. Is Jules Holler still in the chat? Complex PTSD. That's true, Anne. So, anytime I see somebody jump on every time I see a person jump on dark empaths are the most. It's the bot. Just go to the request. Pixie. It's if you press on the guest thingy, it'll pop up. Thank you, Jill. By the way. Hey, Pixie, how you doing?
Really was no guest thingy. You know when you're like, what are the guest thingy?
It doesn't show that like the box wasn't there because when I open the box, it makes my student ID.
Like thinking that you're not doing guest. Yes. anymore because it's like they're never there. So like when I come on, I'm like, oh, I guess we're not doing boxes anymore.
No, I do the boxes. I like to balance it out, so I keep it.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
But every time I want to balance it out, like so I try to do like 2 or 3 questions in the chat, then box two. But then there's nobody in the boxes, and then I just like
It's like you should just like you do anyway, but like you rule it with way the you just be like, hey, so I'm gonna do this, go do that. Like it's your
like
work and your words.
like last night I opened the boxes and I was like literally so I was like guys, somebody get the box. No one has a question. You got a question? Somebody? Anybody? So that didn't happen. But that's the only reason why you don't see it. And sometimes I just get caught up with the just the questions and I just forget about it. If people do want to get up on the box and ask a question directly, but then again, some people some people don't really do the question part and makes it even difficult. So there are some people that, from my experience with them, for example, like that Adam guy who actually got kicked, that kind of take it in a different perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It's helped me to be like because we form such a bond with the chat and everybody together. And it's like we're all going through, similar, but like they've been there or
That's so true.
So it's like no matter what, no one's risk averse and feel safe. It's so dumb. It feels really safe.
That's the whole point we're trying to create here, And
Yeah.
now I'm a little bit more careful with the boxes too, as well.
Well, I don't think that. Sorry.
I'll message you later on. I'll explain the bigger problem I have with the boxes.
Yeah. So I wanted to let you know. I know someone judged me the other day. I didn't hear it. I didn't even hear it. So I was very far away from that, but I know you got a little bit annoyed by that. But when I came back, like I went for a walk on New Year's Day, and I was with my friend from Miami. She came over and we went for a walk, and I was on New Year's Day, and I came back on my own, and I came up the stairs, and there was 3 big rubbish bin bags sitting at my door, and I was like, oh my fucking god. And you know what? He said, I wanted my shit back, but like, when you want your shit back though, but like when it comes back, you're like, fuck, this is very solid. This is it. So I cried. I was taking it. I didn't really want New Year's Day to be it, but anyway, did it. It was all my ski stuff, whatever. He never got the ring back, and I never asked for the picture because the picture was the one thing that I wanted. And I never asked for it. I said, I'm going to eat the picture, whatever. He gave me my shit. I don't know why, but I'm going to eat the picture. Guess what? When he didn't fucking hear from me, I didn't fucking go crazy. Like, he thought I was going to be like, get the picture, you son. He didn't hear that. Guess what he did? He waited. And then 4 hours later, he went, oh, and by the way, the picture's in your boat. Your rubber boot.
So that was intentional.
So I didn't even respond, Adam. I have not responded. There's no response. I'm sure the ring's fake at this point. But I think the ring might be fucking fake. Not really clear, but I don't give a fuck. I have my own money anyway. But what I'm saying is, isn't this crazy? I was on the phone. I was on the chat with you guys, and there was I think it was 14 people on my side. There's 2 people on right now, probably him, but there was 14 people on my side, and that was New Year's Eve. Remember, we were all just living life and being together, and then the next day, my shit was at my door.
Well, when you're resilient. That's what happens, right? When you're resilient and you're pushing forward, you're making yourself a priority. That's what happens. you're doing great, Pixie, and you're gonna continue to like you're going to thrive. And beyond the look, moving forward, like Matt, you just look in this same interaction, you are capable of seeing how petty the behavior is, and you can see.
At least one day is good, one day is not. You know, like fuck.
And by the way, the fact the fact that he hid the picture was a backdoor as well. Assuming that you were going to call and then he was going to show like that, just to show that you're crazy, like to hide it.
That's what happened. You know what photo was taken from? If I show you right now, this isn't like. Let me tell you something. The way the photo was taken shows everything that he is. So my door is facing two other homes. He sat my shit down in bin bags, garbage bags, whatever you guys Americans call them. Bin bags, garbage bags, sat them down. I have whatever, it doesn't matter. But anyway, go ahead and got them back. He went down the stairs, 2 floors, then took the picture.
Wow. So, so it was a calculated move.
Next, you see what I do your name was my name is praying. Pray to God that, I get some clarity and he gives me whatever, I deserve. Like, I don't deserve this behavior. So, God, I didn't expect God to answer.
Well, you answered for you like. Well, I'm glad that the spiritual connotation of this worked out for you. But I think you did a really good job yourself, Pixie, on this. Pixie. You sent her an invite. Guys, let me make this very clear in the chat, and I'll say it once, and this goes out to anyone who's doing it. I don't need co-hosts in the chat. I don't. I don't. Wonder where Pixie went. No worries. I think what she was. My bigger concern is when she's using cuss words. I feel like that's something that probably may have got her removed. So we'll have to see. I didn't. Sometimes, whenever, if I only get a warning if it's minor. Thank you, Gabriel. Let me.
Wait a minute! Weeping!
You're leaving?
Weeping!
You're weeping?
Yeah. When you
Oh, okay. I got you.
Hi, thank you, Taylor. My nose broke today.
No, it's not
But I
looking.
was
It's not
always
looking.
great.
It's not looking too bright on my side either. But we'll try.
这个我不要拿 okay. Stand up. Oh, Joe, when I was in college, I couldn't do anything because I was staying with my mom.
Vivian, where's your tree?
Put it away. Like, please.
Now I feel guilty. I didn't remove my tree.
Everything's double at this moment, guys. First gift, double points. First, welcome back, Marvel. First gift, double. First gift, double. 5 seconds. Pushed it away. Wow. Wait, what, Mom?
Battles is how. Well, the battles is how we push the live.
Why wasn't college?
It's basically one TikToker versus another, but it also helps support the live. You win the battle by tapping the screens and also by dropping gifts. You can taps help, everything helps, gifts help. I do it because I'm trying to help. I'm trying to get the gift call. I need to keep up with the leagues on these. I need to keep up with the leagues as much as I possibly can. And battles is the best way I can do it. So if anyone does want to support the live, if anyone wants to push it forward, please feel free. Your phone, the outlet, Pixie will get you after. Well, aside from the monetary gain itself from the actual gifts, it pushes us on the live. Like you can see on B1 now, we lost our A3, and we lost some other privileges with that too. Thank you, Pixie. Let's go, Pixie. Also, concern Pixie. I thought you got banana because you're a custom village other ones. When you drop suddenly like that.
Face maybe not inner girl.
Yomi. Yomi. Let's go.
Double.
Thank you, Yomi. Pixie.
Is it
Pixie. Pixie. Let's go, Pixie.
so tired of this shit?
Let's go, Pixie.
Oh,
Jesus. Thank you so much, Pixie.
what the hell? What the hell is it?
She sent the private jet. That's a massive gift.
We need a roast.
And she pulled on the doubles too.
Let's see this one. Let's go. Yeah.
Let me Vivian, wait. What's up?
That's long.
Vivian?
Rice of
Vivian. Is
I
that
hear you.
in the back, the doll, is that the penguin that goes note note?
No. That's the animal stuff toys.
There's that oxalecto, what didn't you know how to pronounce it? I'm looking at the penguin. There was a yeah.
From roast we are roast now. The rose and colors. And
Pengu, yeah. Oh, can you imagine?
again. Alexandros today. Yeah, I did too. Thank you, J-Dog, for the roast night. Thank you, babies. Thank you, Hello Kitty. Thank you, Dubes.
MVP, Naomi, Alinda, Isaac.
See you tomorrow.
Good night. All right. You take care, Vivian.
Okay.
Goodbye.
See ya.
We had a little victory dance. That's. We need to improve the victory dance. We need to make it a little bit more lavish. Let me get pigs back up here. Pixie, also out of concern, please try your best not to use cuss words because TikTok will banana you.
So sorry.
I know, I don't know. I have no problem with it whatsoever. But the when you got removed, when you left, or when you got to your phone turned off, the first thing that clicked to my mind is like, oh, like it's either your phone turned off. Now, in my screen, it didn't show that you were still here for a long time. Like, it didn't show that you just dipped out. So I assumed that something else happened. Yeah. Anyhow, so yeah, continue. You're saying
Right. First, a lot.
you can replace like
Long time. Until like, will be my fault.
listen. Do you ever notice something when I'm in the live? Like, I try my best to.
My brain comes out even more.
If I wasn't on TikTok lives, I promise you, my language would be a lot more different. I'd be a lot more vocal.
Feels like some where it's like switch back to you. If you're like it's like swear box.
That'll be-
That or like one of those things, you know.
Andrea, Sandy, no, you're not. I can. I don't know what's wrong, Sandy. I can see what you're saying. Swear jar.
Like a swear.
Well, I did want to just I was saying that it's a good thing that you recognize.
First jar, yeah.
I was just saying that it's good that you can recognize what you're dealing with and and it's good that you are like I think a lot of the transaction that you had in that situation was not meant to play out the way it did. Like there is a lot of back end, mechanics involved in these kind of situations. And what I'm referring to more specifically is the expectation. Like, look, they never give without any expectations of something happening in return. Like you could guarantee that his assumption was, if I give her this, I might gain some kind of leverage, even or some kind of context. And the fact that he hid the picture in the rubber boot, that's an indicator of him trying to create. Because what's happening here? You're going to recognize it's missing. Once you recognize it's missing, you're going to freak out. Once you freak out, you're going to reach out and you're going to start getting toxic on him, right?
He's going to lose my fucking shit.
Yeah. And then once you get
About to lose my shit, then I was like, listen, you said fix it. Instead, you were going to do your bread last night. I prayed at 12 o'clock, and I was like, God, please, like, I want to be done. And I was like, I need to be done.
well, we can say now at this point that I guess that we're at that point now, right? At least, how do you feel about that?
What do you mean?
Do you feel do you feel you've reached that point,
Jill,
or
sorry.
you're done?
Yeah, I'm done.
That's all there is to it. Now that you look,
It's like gold simplify every time I can say that to myself.
it's now that we're at this point, this is the end of one chapter.
I feel like I want to thank God for this chapter and swear to goodness that you saved my life. just it's very juice. It's like my anything with it. It's very straight.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. It's all right. Pixie, let it out.
Yeah.
That was who he had to be.
Santa Cruz were too. I know you money. But strong. Like I guess I just
Hold on.
didn't see
It's Jeremy. It's Jeremy. It's Jeremy. I wanna say something, right?
yeah.
I wanna look at your profile for a second, and it says human advocate, a simple way forward.
He said, "Oh my gosh, like, who is this person? It's probably my ex." See, when you start to do many research, some of this is really strong. And he
Okay.
was right. Oh my gosh, they cried. Let me see him. Hold on. It is
You're,
it's Jeremy. I can't go into his page because
no, don't waste your time. Don't ever dig you.
it's quite short. It's not sacred. You're crying. Your mother's crying.
Yeah, no, he got blocked. Don't worry, he's blocked.
What I say. Hey, swear jar. It's time into life by faith way. Like
Don't feed the trolls, Pixie. Don't feed the trolls. Don't feed the trolls. People who are toxic. Listen.
No, Jules, don't feed the trolls.
I'll tell you what. People who are toxic, right, or who are judgmental, they'll try to take a picture. This is just a reflection of his own toxicity. It is not a representation of your actual experience. Okay, don't worry about it. No Rebel Nation. Rebel Nation. Rebel Nation.
On here, I was like, Jules, I was like, kids, I don't know if my kids involved come on here. My page is gonna be looking, whatever. And then some of my friends and my family was like, Willa, you really open up on the page. Oh. And I was like, yes, I do, because it's like so unlike me, but it's kind of like it's therapeutic and it's a safe space and it's
Well, I'm glad you feel that way. I'm glad you're making this progress, Pixie, and I'm glad that you can come and share.
some small guy, so it doesn't surprise me that there's people in here, and it doesn't surprise me that the day before he left everything off at my door, that I had this conversation with you in the chat, and I was like, so he wants the ring back and da 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 da. It doesn't surprise me. Because there's a lot I could uncover, but I would never do that. But maybe I've ruffled a few feathers, and I guess I've just been like dormant for too long. But as I said, I went from dormant to dynamite. So
That's progress.
yeah.
Anyhow, Pixie, I'm so glad you came up and shared that with us, and I'm so glad that you're part of this community. I think you're a great asset. And thank you very much for sharing with us, and thank you for being up here and being a backbone.
Chat.
All right? I appreciate you, Pixie. Goodbye. Guys, W Pixie in the chat. Listen, there's a few things I want to make it clear. I will set boundaries in the chat. Like, if a person comes up on a box, you are not in a place to judge that person. You don't have that privilege. It doesn't matter who's in the box, no matter what they say, how you feel about what they say, you're in no place to judge that person. If we create the encouragement for a person to get up there and speak, then that's what's going to happen. No more, no less. And we'll give all the space that person needs to. So any person that wants this to share any kind of negative connotation to their understanding, I don't want you to be judgmental. You can talk to them, but you don't gotta be judgmental. Like saying things like "hey, crying" or "oh, she's not gonna do it." Well, I don't need that bullshit. Like if you have anything negative, if you have something positive, say it. Say it. If you have something supportive to say, then say it. If you have something toxic, now a question presented in a constructive way is always welcomed. But when it's presented in a condescending or passive aggressive way, and I feel it that way, I will throw you out. I will shut you down. I will throw you out. I don't give a flying F who you are. Because any person who gets up on this panel is not up for judgment. You know? It's not yet. No, no, no. I'm not saying anyone is judging her. The person who was judging her got thrown out. But just to understand the concept of how this is going to work or how we're going to push this, when a person does get up in the box, if you have something or something negative to say, keep it to yourself. If you want to chime in, you want to say something nice, you want to say something supportive, please feel free. Yeah, support, not hurt. Because this live can be far more productive if we use our collective as a way to support, not to tear down. So that one person who can, oh, free crying, bro. I don't need that bullshit. Like I don't like this person is sadly enough, this person's on his bio it's written advocate for humans or whatever bullshit. And then he comes up, great cry, bro. I don't need that nonsense here. Can I come up? Oh yeah, definitely can. I'm gonna Sam, I'm not gonna take any questions on the boxes, at least not for the next 20 minutes after Pixie. Then I'm gonna do questions in the chat, and then I'll get back to the take
Okay. So, said Adam, I was that you guys like like we pick our community and we all look after each other. It's big noise. I've learned to not really deal. So I don't even hear it. I love you so much. Listen, I just wanted to let the haters know. They seem to want to know. Keeping the right.
I know the boss guy.
Right. Keeping the ring because it was what I write. I designed it and he broke the promises. So I don't give two fiddlers F's what y'all think. Haters can hate, and I just wanted to let them keep hating with something at them. So that was what I was going to say. Because there was a couple of odd comments. Did she keep the ring or did she not? No, I definitely kept the ring.
No, Amanda, I wanna talk to that person. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, you keep everything. You do whatever you want, Pixie.
It was engaged to him, and I paid for the kids' schooling and everything because he was broke. So what he for my ring is an even the amount that I put anyway. Not even. I don't give a shit. He ruined the promise. He broke the promise.
It's technically yours, so you're free to do whatever you want with it. It's technically yours, so you're free to do whatever you want with that. That's just the reality.
I told you I don't give a right. We know this. King vote me the money. You know, it's the principle. You know, all you haters in the chat aren't our usual. You know,
It's okay. It's okay, Pixie.
you know, here I want to share my experience with my people. You know, I've been doing. We've been coming along together, and I just wanted to let people know because you know it is what it is. I'm keeping the red, and I thought if I go and get it appraised, which I am going to do, and it's actually worth what I think it's worth. I'm going to do something really cool with it. I don't know yet what, but something for somebody else or something else. Like
You do
I'm
whatever
going to.
you owe no one an explanation, Pixie. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You do whatever you want.
Do want you guys to like, you know, Bob did it. It wasn't like me. I was on the phone with you guys New Year's Eve saying that he wanted the ring back, and he wouldn't give me my things back. And New Year's Day, my things were at my door with the picture. So you know, it is what it is. I deserve
So I'll
every
just leave it there, Pixie. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to be valued. You deserve to find happiness and joy. What's yours is yours, and Nikki is responsible for the consequences of their actions.
break.
Pixie, no, don't Pixie. Don't listen. Don't listen. Get up.
Send a noise. Smart one, my page.
It's easy. Pixie. It's
I don't need
Pixie.
anyone's money.
Pixie. Victims. Listen. Victims who are still trying to heal.
I think so, honey.
Listen, victims who are still trying to heal antagonize other victims for absolutely no reason. That's their problem. Anyhow, Pixie, I do appreciate you coming up and you made it very clear. Thank you so much for being so vocal and being unequivocally yourself. You keep rocking it, Pixie.
This so like really open up you know would never well so be a safe space and I really do my heart you totally saved my life.
I appreciate you being here, Pixie. Big W. You
Thank
take
you,
care,
sir.
Pixie. Bye-bye. Okay. W Pixie in the chat. And user 187. Oh my lord. Okay. Who are you to judge and tell me what to do? Or to judge on the people in the boxes? I want to ask you this genuine question. What makes you think you're entitled to throw judgment and shade on the person in the box? What makes you think that you're entitled? If this is a victim of narcissistic abuse or that suffering, just like you are, how do you think, or what makes you think that you're entitled to try to tear her down? What makes you think you're entitled? Is that not a judgment? Is that not a judgment? I don't think she's fake. I think she's a victim, just like you. And I don't think it's our job as people who are trying to grow and come back to what our experience was. So, who the fuck are you? This is my life. You are just a viewer in it. Check yourself. The fuck? Actually, get the fuck out of here. I have to throw her in the bin. What the fuck is wrong with this person? Get him out of here. I just put him in the bin. Jesus. Fucking toxic. This is why we can't have good things, guys. This is why we can't have good things. It's like, it's like, who are you? That's wrong. No, they're not slow. I told that person, I was giving that person an opportunity. Nope. Yelmaz, I told that. You see, the thing is, look, don't, guys, listen, let me tell you guys, look, no one tells me how this shit is supposed to run. Don't tell me how it's supposed to run. I told the mods not to because I wanted to give the person an opportunity because that person No one asked for your expert opinion either. Oh, I'm not mad. This is called setting boundaries. This is not being mad. This is called setting boundaries, laying it as it is. So, just because you're a woman doesn't mean you can be toxic to other people. Guys, there are boundaries. As a live host and a person who's creating a community, you have to learn how to set boundaries. And I will not walk on eggshells and mute. No, I will be vocal about how I want to situate the live. And if people can't get on terms with it, they get thrown the F out. It's that simple. The rules are simple. You follow them. You don't get out of here. Rules, thank you very much. I appreciate you. You didn't see the conversation, you mess. They got toxic progressively. So don't. Once again, if you're not there, you don't know. Don't judge. Thank you, Jules.
Hey there.
Hey, what's up, Jules? How you doing?
To the doll. I just wanted to express my gratitude to you for the other night explaining to me about the correlation between narcissists continuously showing up after being no contact for a long time, and how that equates to power, like the fear that it evokes. And just had a question. I was wondering if you see patterns of, I don't know if the right word is victims of narcissists. I don't love that word, but I'll just use that word. And getting perhaps a bit obsessed with wanting to see that individual held accountable and or punished.
Okay. Yes, that's the first thing that happens. This is what usually. So the three things that trap a victim of narcissistic abuse into the cycle of abuse, or that prevents them from healing, is the most common three things. Uh, Yelmez, you're doing too much. Yelmez, you're doing too much. Tone it down. End of discussion. We're moving on from that. If you want to keep opening it up and keep playing with that, then you'll follow the other person. Okay. I lay it as it is. I'm firm my boundaries. This life is not going to be about you and your problem, your perspective. I don't give a shit. Deal with it. Move on with life. So, Jules, there's three things: resentment, regret, retribution.
Right.
These three things is what prevents any victim of moving on with their life. When you resent, this is what I call the triple R's. I actually, if you have the book, there's a whole section on this called the triple R's.
Cool.
Listen. Okay, then probably you don't want to. It's if you do want to get to that point, I'll give you the page number.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna explain it though. I'm gonna give you the gist of it. It's page 183. It
83.
wait, it's this one. Look, and true recovery. Okay, true recovery from a trauma bond begins when you let go of the triple R's: resentment, regret, and retribution. To give you the gist of it, okay. When we come out of a narcissistic relationship, we're stuck pursuing three things. Yes, I have a book. It's called Code of the Empath. Who's that? Who's this guy?
It's you.
This is the fake accounts. Yeah, you remember the fake accounts? Okay. So, Jules, we get trapped in, listen, we get trapped in resentment, regret, and retribution. Resentment is when we define ourselves, and this is where you're looking at right now. Resentment is when you define your own recovery with their validation of your experience. So that means like I want them to know they hurt me. I want them I want them to see that I'm in pain. I want them to feel this like I want them to acknowledge what they've done to me. So in reality, us trying to get them to see this locks us in a cycle, right? Of trying to be and trying to get closure. Thank you, Pixie. I appreciate you. But in
Yeah,
reality,
that's
and they know this. They know that you want this, right? And they won't give it to you.
it's never gonna come. And what's interesting to me is you probably don't remember. I know you get a lot of callers. There was myself and there's two other female victims of this fellow, and it involved physical.
Yes, and the three of you got together. I do. The three of you got together, and you're working on making a case against him. Our last conversation, the
And I'm
three of you
really
decided.
grateful.
I'm not sure if you actually followed up on that. Did you?
Sure did. Yes, I did. And so did one other. And yeah, the wheels are in motion. And we are seeking to file civil suits against the police service as well as the individual. What's really interesting to me is that,
Great job, James.
well, to
That's
you,
what I'm talking about. That's a power play, Jules.
I appreciate it. I guess what's been really interesting is the difference between where the three of us are each at, and I'm not saying I am further ahead. I think there's reasons I'm further ahead, and the reason is I never lived with him. The other two did, and probably had a little bit more in-depth, intimate relationship. But we often have conversations where I'll be saying, "You're never gonna get like the story you want, and that feeling bad for what he did to you. Like I don't have that desire, and same with retribution. I did for a year, definitely. I wanted to see him held accountable, and once I learned police tips, I won't swear on the show, but we're gonna go sweet. I let go of that, and my final chapter to heal is my own regret and shame. But I was just curious, and you explaining the three R's really solidifies it, and I'll open page 138.
82, 182.
Sorry,
Let-
182.
But wait, resentment is only the first R. Okay? You can't look forward in life, or you can't see the present if you're focused on the past. And a narcissist will never let you escape the past. That's why resentment is the first point in which we cannot heal. That's because we resent the fact that they don't see it, and then that resentment goes towards ourselves. The second R is regret. Regret is to gaslight yourself, and you probably hear me talk about this a lot more than usual. Regretting is never helping because all you're doing is or at least look, a narcissist used to put you down, insult you, degrade you, and on their departure, you start to do that on their behalf with regret. So you start to so you start to gaslight yourself on their behalf. Instead of they used to call you this, that, and whatever, they're gone now, and then you call yourself this, that, and whatever. Oh, I should have been smarter. Oh, I wasn't smart enough to do this. Oh, I should have done this. You find yourself playing the role of the manipulator against yourself. That's why regret is never healthy. Now, so this is what we do with regrets. We turn those regrets into learning opportunities.
Oh,
We take those regrets. So if I instead of saying, "Oh, I was so dumb," I'm gonna say, "How can I be smarter in the future? Oh, I should have seen that. What can I do to make sure I can catch or be more vigilant or careful the next time?" So we'll take every because you look, it's every if as long as we learn from it, it's not a problem, you know. Now the last thing and the last R, and this is where your question is retribution. When we don't know how to heal, we think if we dish back what they've done to us to them, we'd find ourselves in a better place. This misconception is the real bane of recovery for most people. Because when you think that your recovery is contingent to their downfall, then you're going to be focused on locking yourself in the cycle of trying to act and think like them. And you hear me say this every night. You don't overcome them by becoming them. And
Yeah,
feeding into retribution
correct.
locks you into the cycle. So when you learn that the best counter or revenge against a narcissist or a toxic person is healing, moving on with your life and finding peace, learning how to smile without them. That's how you really beat the narcissist in their own game. And once you get down, if you can let go of the triple R's, that's where healing begins. But it's like you said, every victim of narcissistic abuse is locked into three, if not all three together. You know,
Equal contribution piece wants me to feel,
and that's
and I think it's just unique. It's just depth of relationship was different for the three of us. And I just don't, me, that's not me. It's going to, and it's never going to come, but I can reclaim trust in myself and boundaries. I think my downfall has been I've kind of the pendulum swing the opposite way to where anybody in at all thinking that's going to keep me safe. So my boundaries are so bloody firm that nobody can possess me, and that's I have healing to do in that respect. Um, and I don't really know how to get there quite yet.
you're doing it. Okay, so the three ways that we do this, and you look having these conversations, asking the right questions, being vocal, asking the right questions to find the right answers are all ways that you can contribute to your recovery. Because when you start to have the right direction, you contribute into the right path, and you put the right energy and the right resources into the right direction. Because when you're no longer focused on resentment, regret, attribution, you're only focused on yourself. So that means whether you reach there or not, healing is happening. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we obviously had issues being able to allowing somebody to treat me I had more strict dreams. Being empathetic with boundaries. I could have totally protected myself earlier on from this person, and that's the lesson I have to take. But I also have to let people in, and that's sort of work I have to do now.
All that matters is now, Jules. Remember that. All that matters is now. And the path forward. What's done is done. What's in the past is in the past. There's no point in regretting on it. There's no point in dwelling on it. There's no point living in it. The path forward, in the current moment that we're in. And you're doing a great job, Jules. You're strong. You're recovering. You're healing. You're standing up. You're being loud. You're loud and vocal in your healing, in your stance, in your voice. All of that happening. You're doing great, Jules. Hopefully you make a good buck out of it, Jules. I hope you get a good settlement.
Once we try,
I would cash in. I would cash in.
it's like it hurts.
Sure, thank you. Nicely done.
Thank you so much for your time.
I appreciate you, Jules. Thank you very much for coming up and sharing with us an update. Nana Tutu, you can subscribe from the bottom left over there. Thank you, Jules. I
Yeah, thank
appreciate you.
Okay.
You take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
Guys, W Jules in the chat. That was Jules. Jules Holler. Guys, W Jules Holler in the chat. Hey, Happy New Year's. Right?
See you for a long time.
I haven't seen it's been a while.
I'll take your 5.
You're gonna take my vibe, Danny?
Yes.
Why?
Gonna try. Gonna try.
How you doing?
Try. Hey, what's up? Look at that. I'm gonna see after his battle shout. Look so much about this performance.
Guys, it's been a long time since we've been with Danny. Kelly, thanks to follow. Guys, this is the match that's gonna bring us back to League A3, guys. By the way, they have smoke, so be careful. This is it, guys. This is the match that's gonna bring us back to A3. Hey, Kelly. It can be Rebel Nation. All right, guys, we got this. Guys, we gotta work together, all right? No, landowner or not. Let's go, Jules. Strong start. Jules, thank you very much. Thank you, Jules. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, watch out. They have smoke. Don't take Danny, but don't underestimate Danny. Guys, don't underestimate Danny. They have smoke all the time.
Yeah, chat. Johnson Bacon.
Their chat, they drop lines and intercellars and all that nonstop.
Somebody play. We just need a one.
They,
We just need a 1 liter change his bike. 1 liter change his bike. When we lose all night, when we lose it all night. When we lose the Nuggets, come back. We just lost.
the hat has been activated.
What's the thing to take this losing line? That's why. We need a 1 liter. We need 1 liter.
Guys, we have a glove just in case. Because if they don't have a glove, we got a glove too. Guys, do we have a glove?
It's good rest. It's good rest.
Hey guys, we don't belong. We don't up. We don't up. We don't up. We don't up. Can we just do something? You know, begin what do we meant to the
All right, I need a double glove. We got Malenka's got a glove.
it's like oh my god, oh my god.
Let's go, Jules. Don't make it easy on them. Don't make it easy on them. Make it easy on them. Don't let them take it from us.
Good talking. Very good talking.
Let's go, Jules. Let's go, Jules. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Jules MVP. Isaac got a glove. Chloe, Alenka, Carol, Moonlight. Oh my god. Let's go. I,
For 40K.
you want to do a replay?
We can rematch. Don't dream of me. I just wanna challenge you. So what you got in the end?
I'm not quite afraid, to be honest, Danny. Now your team is angry. Hmm?
My team is
I can see the fire in your eyes, Danny.
very positive.
Guys, Danny does have a scary stare, honestly.
Let me use some. We're gonna take another set. I'll come back. Let me try to find some.
That was so good, Jules. Thank you so much. That was a golden solid hit.
Dude, you know money. Why you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, keep talking like crazy. Tell me like crazy.
Guys, this is the vengeance match. Guys, don't let Jules be on her own in this one. Guys, support Jules, guys. The guys, they're not gonna give it to us easy. Listen, the strategy is this, okay? They let us go all in, we drop all our smoke, and then they come back and on our behinds. But we are ready, guys. Guys, just back up, Jules.
House.
They got Big Mike in the house, guys.
Okay, guys, don't let us speak. Don't let us speak. Let us take care. Yes, how many noses? Scout team on you. I always trust my team.
Isaac, you got the glove, right? Save it for the last 30. Do we have any other glove aside from the one with Isaac?
Oh, eight points to win this game. No more battle. Eight points to win this game. No more battle tonight. Justin, thank you. Oh, thank you. Guys, one more rose. Stella.
Carol, Trailblazer, thank you. Jules, thank you. Tiger, Chloe. Hey, Pixie!
Wow, they just dropped the flight jet. They dropped flight jet.
Again? Let's go, Jules! Let's go! Let's go, Jules! Let's go, guys! Back up, Jules! Back up, Jules! Back up, Pixie! Back up, Jules! Guys, back up, Jules! Back up, Pixie! Let's go, Pixie! Let's go!
Just drop everything. See two people. Should I use the double? Oh my god. Why would they use a double? You got glove? Anybody glove?
Trailblazer, thank you.
Hey, Matt's gonna relax because he better than it. He knows that his team is too strong.
Pixie, let's go, Pixie!
That's funny.
I know, because the last time we played with you, you've been dropping on us big.
You hear me?
I do fear.
What do you say, Tom? What do you say? What is the big? What is the big of a blowjob? Oh my god! That's my trio. Let's use the help arrow together. That's my arrow. Oh, they got arrow. Come back.
Guys, last 30 seconds, guys. Guys, listen. Last 30 seconds, guys. Guys, last 30 seconds, guys, okay? Hold for last 30 seconds. I need you to listen. Guys, let's work together. Work together. Let's go, Pixie. Let's go, guys. Let's go, guys. Let's do this. Let's go, guys. Let's go, Pixie. Guys, push hard. Push hard, guys. Don't get to them easy. Don't get to them easy, guys. Let's go, Naomi. We got this, guy. We got this. Guys, one good hit. One good hit, guys. One good hit. Don't let them have it easy. Don't let them have it easy, guys. Let's go, Pixie. One good hit, guys. One good hit. Don't let them have it. Pixie. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go, Jack. That's what I'm talking about. Pixie, Charles, Naomi, Chloe, Melinda, Trailblazer. Let's go, Chad. GG, guys. Let's celebrate. Pixie, Jules, Naomi, Chloe, Melinda, Trailblazer, Tiger, Maja. Nice playing with you, Danny. GG. Nice playing with you. Bye bye. Oh my god. Anxiety. You guys are phenomenal.
Say thank you for Casey and Katrina because they just out.
Let me get a high five for everybody. Give me high fives. There's Casey
Katrina.
and Katrina.
Yes. Really?
Am I disturbing her?
No, here we are down.
Jules, Pixie, Jules and guys. Naomi, Jules, Pixie, Dill, Trailblazer, Chloe, Carol, Alenka, Mel, Tager, Rebel Nation, Isaac, Maja. Wow. 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 Oh my god, that was amazing. You don't understand, guys. She's been clapping my cheek every single time we play with her. Like I was avoiding her like the plague. And then she sent me an invite, and I felt like, because I always invite people. It's not nice when you don't invite, they respond, or at least. And when I said they were doing us really bad, like every time they would catch us, boom, they would drop a line or something like that. But now, definitely the crown, guys. The crown. Actually, we're gonna start doing that. Hold on, wait. Let me hold on. Wait, let me get it. Let me get a better pen that writes. Oh my god. I'm still so stressed from that battle. That was really amazing, guys. Hold on, let me get a pen. Sorry.
I think we understood from that matter.
Tomato, and Casey and Katrina. Katrina has her friends over and they're working on a project and doing sleepover.
Mesela ben after işine mi after the Ramadan say
That was insane. Oh my god, guys. Wait, I need hair. I need hair, guys. Hold on. Oh my god. I don't use it. Oh, Jesus. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, she's already. Yeah, she's already. Oh my goodness. That was so hype, guys. I'm so hyped for that. I'm trying to find my tomato chip filling something tonight. Okay, guys, we're gonna work our way back into make it three. I'm trying to sugarcoat the reason why, but I don't properly sleep. I swear my pin is here somewhere. Are you for real? I'm doing this. I'm doing this, guys. I don't think even if I have to pull a liquid pen out of the pits of the earth, I am doing this. It's because the wood itself. Where's my pen? Sorry, guys. Okay, so here's my notebook that I use for everything. With no pen in it. We had a solid battle. Oh my god, guys, that was like the you don't understand. Hold on, let me tell you guys something. Oh, there is. You know what? I got something even better. You don't understand. Let me tell you guys something. There's a bigger problem happening. There's a bigger problem happening. By the way, this angle, you can't see it perfectly when I'm on live, but on my other. Then we got. Guys, I want to put most of the. Oh no. No. Hold on, wait, I gotta do it right. They gotta be smarter. Yeah, Tiger gets double. Who do I need? I need Lexi. I definitely need Lexi up here. Guys, we're gonna put all the MVPs. Yeah, these are the MVPs. Well, basically because you don't understand, the road to A3, like we have to get back into A3. Glad you're enjoying your Rebel Nation. The ones that drop, they're the big gifters. And I want to put massive supporters too as well. Yo. We need to get back to A3 because the live is no longer protected. Once you leave A3, you're no longer protected. Thank you guys, everyone, for the support. We can get okay. So we're right now. We're gonna get 2 fragments, so we might be back in A3 by the end of today. But I gotta solidify it. I gotta make sure that we keep this. I feel like actually Titan. 777 needs to be there. 100% T-Dub, I agree with you on that. I want to also get top like MVPs from previous times as well. I want to have them on them as well. I want to put King Thor. Guys, I love King Thor. Solid guy. Last night he actually dropped a crazy amount of subs, believe it or not. That was insane. And Isaac. You know I'm not gonna forget you, bro. Guys, that was an awesome battle, guys. Beth. Pixie, thank you so much. Pixie, thank you so much. Hold on. You don't understand. We're getting closer. We're getting closer to getting back into A3. Once we get back into A3, oh my god. I'm gonna do everything to make sure we don't lose it. T-Dub, it's not for the past 4 days. We've been on a rough drought, and it's been really difficult, honestly. Oh my god. Oh my god, my bullet spot is so bad. Pixie, thank you so much, Pixie. Okay, so there's leagues, right? So TikTok Live, there are leagues to it, and leagues determine 2 things: push, exposure, and on a scale of TikTok, With exposure comes recognition in terms of TikTok side of things. And when you're an A3, your life is more valuable to the TikTok community. So that means there's some perks that come with that, which makes it more better or beneficial for you as a host or running a live. And these categories, like now we're at B1. Now normally we were on A3 and A2, but recently things got a little bit dry on our side and we just pulled down from it. Actually, we reached the A1 at some point, but then we were balancing A2, 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 A3, A2, A3, A2, A3, and then boom, we lost it. Hey, Tom, thank you very much for the sub. To be honest, Pixie, when you drop, you drop hard. It's like when Pixie, you're here, I'm like that last match, you and Jules, unbelievable. Hey, Elaine, how are you doing? Elaine, how's it going? Unbelievable, guys. That was the battle of a lifetime. You know what's this? The thing is, when she did a rematch, guys, you don't understand. It's not fair to avoid a rematch, right? And when she asked for a rematch, what they do is, and look, this is what people do. They try to beat you in the long run. So they let you drop everything in the first match, right? Assuming that, and then they say, "Oh, okay, let's do a rematch," and then assuming that you have nothing left to drop, and then they just they beat you twice. It's a strategy, right? And I actually thought we were gonna dip on one battle. I thought we were gonna do one battle and go. That's it. But she was persistent, and in the first battle, Jules went ham. Jules went completely crazy on that one. And then on the second battle, that's where because now at that point, in reality, if Pixie didn't push, it would have been so difficult for Jules alone to keep up with what's on that side. By the way, don't forget that they were emboldened by the fact that it was only one person pushing. Because when they saw the presence of God, it's just one person, like come on, double and double and double and double. But when then they saw Pixie that came, Pixie was like, drop the mic, drop the mic, drop the mic. They're like, okay, 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 give it to them. Let me see. Let me make sure that these done. I don't. I'm not a battler Pixie, but probably those are like that's the battles for tonight. Let us say no to my ex Lear who invited me out. Looks hopeful. That's a good start. Pixie, I appreciate you. I really, really do appreciate you. You've saved this community. I'll tell you that. You and Jules, you're definitely putting us in a better place for tonight. And Naomi, Jill, Trailblazer, thank you guys very much. Thank you. Guys, we as a team, no one messes with us. No one messes with us. Say what? Jesus loves me. Seek the Lord. I love Jesus too, Gigi. You should seek the Lord too. All right, Pixie. Go on. Yeah, at this point, Naomi, We even got the hat and everything. Thank you, Itzy. Well, thank you, really. Hey, Dream Girl. This is the best community. My hat went flying at the end. Yeah, it got crazy. Listen, to be honest, peace. I don't think I think even Danny I think even Danny had a trick up their sleeves, but I think they got when they saw how hard our team was hitting, I feel like they kind of got cold feet on wanting to because we dropped the glove. They actually didn't have a glove, by the way. What didn't let them push? They didn't have the it looks like they were trying to you know how when we struggle, who's got a glove? You got a glove? He's got a glove? Where's got the glove? Where's the glove? Somebody drop the glove. Like they're all trying to find the glove, and our team was like, get out of here. Get out of here. You don't have a glove? Get out of here. Why you come without a glove? Of course, it always happens to us. And now I'm feeling like, nah, the good thing is the glove was in Isaac's hand. The good thing is the glove was in Isaac's hand. Oh my god. Ain't no messing with the Den of Impasse, I'll tell you that. That's true. By the way, the first glove was Alenka. Alenka had a glove from the first match. Alenka had a glove from the first match we did earlier today. So it came so convenient. We had Alenka's glove and we had Isaac's glove. Oh my god, guys. That was so much. Guys, I have to get air. I have to get air. I have to get air. My shoes. With well, there's two types. There's the meat type. There's the type with meats, and then there's the type with there's a type with veggies only. The one with veggies is called yelenji, right? And it's rice and tomatoes and you know. But the one with the meat is it's less. It's more like onions and meat and rice. Guys, we're gonna go outside. Protein. Guys, feel this? Okay, let me explain. Right? It's the kind of cold that it doesn't have any air to it or anything, but the weather itself is just freezing. Oh, jeez. Okay. Yeah, I just came, like, I just got back from that kind of sickness. Guys, tomorrow I'm gonna be live from Iowa, I believe. Oh, there it is. So much better. Yeah, thank you always. Yeah, it's a little bit too late for me. I'm going to have to sleep because I'm trying to because I have to get up early. I have to take Katrina's friends home early in the morning, and then I'm gonna have to drive to Iowa in the morning so Tamara can go work with my sister. You wanna? Uh, so tomorrow, let me guys tell you a little bit of stuff before I jump off. Hold on. I'm gonna Hey, you know we're getting 110 views on YT. Not bad. No likes. Okay, I'm gonna end the stream over there, and I'm gonna close it.